Hello and welcome to podcast Out the Band podcast episode 5. Yes, 5. We're going to end up running out of hands because every week we're like that.
I know.
You know, so.
And I don't want you to get your toes out.
No, heaven forbid. So,
Have you been?
I have been since a week ago. Oh, yeah, so much has happened.
I know.
I've actually been really busy, man. I'm trying to listen. You know, it took me to like 2 days ago to actually get around to listening to that new Bullet single. I was actually looking forward to it so much for getting released, and it took me ages, man, just to get around to it. But I wasn't disappointed. You know what I mean?
It's great.
It was really good,
great.
man.
So, Biffy have just released. This will be a week. It'll be old news by the time this comes out, maybe. But just released a single called Knives.
Biffy, you said Biffy there. Bullet.
Did I say Biffy?
Aye. Maybe I said Biffy to begin with. No, I don't.
We're talking about Bullet anyway.
Bullet for my Valentine, everyone, has just released a brand new single coming to stores near you.
So, I love it. It's very, very heavy.
Yeah,
and it's
that is, man.
hopefully that's a sneak peek to what the album's going to be. According to Jamie, the bassist, I read an article on him where he said that this is going to be the most aggressive Bullet album you'll ever get. I'm scared to say. I nearly said Biffy there again. So this is going to be their most aggressive album since day one.
Aggressive.
Aye, because they said through this album you'll be able
Scary
to
stuff.
You'll be able to see listen, hear their frustration through COVID because they couldn't gig and release stuff through COVID. I love that, man.
For a band like that's been around as many years as they have, see like something like this where they can't go out and gig, they must know themselves, man. Like with everything that's gone on,
especially like how long have they been going on? How long's Bullet been a band?
Must be like 15-20 years.
They've probably been gigging majority of their
maybe
lives.
not 20 years, but it's definitely not easy. Came out on it 2005 or something
easily,
like 6.
Easily. But they've obviously their album's going to be amazing. I think it's out. When's the album out? Is it
22nd October?
22nd October.
Self-titled as well. Bullet for my Valentine.
Yeah.
Self-titled album.
Aye.
It's really good. If the rest of the albums ain't like that single, man, I don't think we've got anything to worry about. I think it's going to be pretty bang on, man. Their set list for download. Did you see that? No,
I seen clips of it. I've not, unless you know.
I just had a quick wee look through it, but quite a good few songs, man. They even played like old ones like Hand of Blood.
Nice.
I think I'd be disappointed if they never played that, mind you. It's just like one of those ones. I don't know. A lot of folks say Tears Don't Fall.
Yeah.
But I think Hand of Blood is. I don't know if it's just because I was like addicted to Need for Speed Most Wanted when I was a kid, and it was like, see, like you could select the songs. I had like Hand of Blood
on repeat.
Aye, I like set the music so it was just constantly on repeat. Hand of Blood.
What a game!
Oh,
a great game,
man.
Great game.
Played that most of my youth.
Aye. Did they play their new single, Knives?
I think they played that second, yeah. Played it second. But good man, they played Scream Aim Fire. Great set list, man. It looks class.
Did you see that kind of membership thing they're doing? Army of Noise, it's called. It's like a similar to kind of Patreon. Can I think it's a Patreon? The kind of Spotify.
You can pay for certain stuff.
So it's like you can get. I think it's £2 a month, £10 a month, or £18 a month, and it goes from like getting like sneak peek footage from recording and stuff like that to then if you get the bigger one, you get like pre-sale tickets and like 20% off merches and stuff and merches. Yeah.
That's quite cool, man, isn't it? It's quite a lot of bands are doing that now. Even stuff that you don't pay for, like Don Bronco, they're doing like the YouTube channel now, like and they're like releasing videos just to them like about the studio and stuff like that, and just wee daft videos. But I think it's good, man. It's like
YouTube's bigger than ever. So see if you can sell that stuff and make a pretty penny with it, go for it. Especially if they've not been gigging and stuff. It makes sense to me.
Aye, definitely.
You need to be a kind of established band to be able to do it, I think, right enough to make a bit of money, which Bullet are.
Aye.
So, definitely, I back them for it.
Do you know one band? I think if I was to choose one band that I wish I could have seen at the Download pilot, I think it would be Enter Shikari. Oh. Just the write-up that they've got, man, it just sounded like the fucking best show ever. So
I read the write-up as well, and it was it just sounded absolutely amazing. It sounded like a typical Shikari gig, but just on steroids, because I think they were buzzing for it, and the energy.
All the bands that weekend must have just been absolutely buzzing to play, man. It must have just been some weekend, man.
Supposedly Vicovi smashed it as well. So everybody's gone nuts about them as well. So honestly, man, I was loving seeing all the footage and stuff, but I was gutted I was just like,
You couldn't
it
go.
looks so good.
Just even the footage of like folk walking about and that,
Aye.
and they were doing interviews with folk, and you're just like, wish that was me.
I know. You start to get flashbacks and stuff. I was getting pictures like popping up on my phone for the time we went there.
Because memories and stuff like that. Aye.
Mm-hmm. But 10,000 people there, just having the best time ever. And as soon as you're in, mask off, and they're all jumping a bit crazy with each other. Brilliant. Just
every single gig looked amazing, like busy as well. Like every band that the crowds photos I seen, they all looked absolutely packed, man. So for only being 10,000 folk there, when you think, I'd imagine like two bands would have been playing at the one time at one main stage.
There was multiple stages, I'm sure.
Aye, so for that, man, you're still getting a good turnout at like the smaller stages and stuff like that. That's amazing, man.
It's crazy. It just looked amazing. I think the weather was okay for them. I think it only rained a wee bit as well, but
aye. Nothing compared to like when we were there and it was like fucking
honestly, it was
like 40
like
degrees.
Very
40 degrees.
Honestly, absolutely roasting. And the year after was torrential. I remember I was up.
We were lucky, man.
I was up in Perth and I was speaking to a guy in Scotland, Australia. I was speaking to a guy and he had the 2019 download T-shirt, and I said to him, I was like, "Oh, unfortunate about the weather," and he was just like, It didn't bother me. I was blittered. I didn't even know it was raining.
It wouldn't bother you at all.
I think you need to just forget about it and go deal with it, basically. Because
once you're wet, man. Covered in mud.
You see folks skating across the floor.
Aye, man.
Do you know what I was talking to somebody about? See, Architects.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have been this year, obviously, because it was all British bands playing Download, but do you think they're a big enough band to headline Download in a normal Download?
From what I've heard of them, I think they've got potential to be. A few songs that I have heard of them and their new album that came out in like January or February, was it? That just I think it was really good, and I think they're gonna probably go up even further, man. I don't know, are they quite big now? Are they really big now as it is? Right, okay.
They're huge, and they're peaking the new. And I was quite surprised that they weren't playing Download, to be fair.
Aye. Because it would fit in well easy with that kind of the folk that are playing.
And I think they probably could like maybe overstepped the Frank Carter and the Friday. I mean, Architects, English Carry, Bullet.
That sounds amazing.
Solid. Three solid headliners.
I didn't realise they were as big as that. Actually,
huge.
I just I've always liked them, but like never really looked into it that much.
That's what's quite frustrating as well with this podcast. Like we intended to start this podcast a lot earlier. Like, but because of COVID, we couldn't even be in the same room as each other. And we didn't want to do like a Zoom thing because if we were doing it, we've got all the gear, we're buying all this stuff.
We wanted to do it ridiculously over the top, obviously.
But hey,
you've got it, use it, I suppose.
Do it. So that was one of the albums that we were kind of keen to review, and we never actually done it. And it kind of sucks that we never really got round to that. Because what an album it was. It was an incredible album. The last album.
I've like again. I have heard. I think it was like Meteor, or is it Meteor? And there's another couple of tunes on it that's really good. And I'm sure one of the guys for Royal Blood actually.
Mike Kerr.
Mike Kerr. He's on. I think it is that. Is it Meteor?
No, Little Wonder.
Is it
Little Wonder?
Aye.
So there's three guest appearances in there. So you've got Impermanence. Is Winston McCall for Parkway Drive.
Right.
Little Wonder is Mike Kerr by Royal Blood, and Goliath is the one with Simon Neil for Biffy. But great.
I didn't know Simon Neil was on that album.
Aye.
Really?
Goliath is a track near the end of the album.
Alright, cool.
It's great. It's great. It's kind of similar to his While She Sleeps feature. So it kind of comes in later in it, but it goes quite. It goes quite.
Hopefully he's not as nervous in this one.
No, he certainly was the fucking nervous in it. He screams. He's like screaming in it and stuff.
That's good. That's good.
I'll let you hear it after this podcast. It's brilliant.
Very exciting stuff. Cannot wait.
But it's crazy. That was at 26th of February this year, and it's crazy that we're going on to July now. When this comes out, it'll be July. When this podcast comes out, it'll be July.
It will be, man.
That's crazy.
That is madness, actually.
The year's just flying in.
I really want to go back and listen to that album properly then. Because the few tracks I have heard of it are really good.
Animals, see the single Animals is unbelievable.
I've if it's the one I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure I've heard that. It's really good as well. Did you hear that Ollie Sykes is released like a wee snippet of one of the Bring Me Horizon songs? Did you see the video?
It was like a TikTok. it was like a TikTok, wasn't it? So they released a TikTok, and he said like working on new stuff. Is this too heavy or something? Or is this too crazy?
Crazy, aye.
And it sounded amazing. It sounded like that wee bit what the last album was like. Because they went a wee bit heavier with the last album. Post-Human.
They'll definitely have a few. I doubt the whole album will be like that, but it'll be like they'll have like a couple of heavy songs, and then they can't risk their
They can't go a wee bit more poppy and mainstream, and then go back. Maybe they can.
You don't know, man. I mean, you don't know what the future holds like for rock music and stuff like that. It could come right back. You know what I mean? It could be like the 90s again or something like that. You know what I mean? Where it is all 2000s, where it's like pure, totally popular. It's still popular, man, but I just wish it was.
Well, they're saying that there's a lot of pop stars that are getting like heavy. Like, what's that? Olivia Rodrigo, whatever her name is. Like, she's a pop star now, and she's got a single out it's got a bit of kick to it.
Oh, really?
And folk are saying like, is this the new age? You're going back into rock and that? And I fucking hope it is. I hope it is. Look at like Machine Gun Kelly. Swearing
in this. What did you say? Wait, is there swearing? Maybe know that word, but it's dropping the C-bomb in the 5th episode. We've done 5 episodes. We can say what the fuck we want. You've got a problem? Comment down below. It's good for the algorithm.
I didn't mean to say Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly. I meant to
say. Gonna get taken off YouTube for that, man. Fucking hell.
But obviously, he works a lot with Travis Barker and stuff now, and he's kind of stepped away for all these kind of rap and stuff like that. And he's went, do you know what? Let's do a wee bit kind of rocky and kind of Blink-182 style, and it's working for him.
His album is really good, man. It's really, really good.
And he's obviously gone with Megan Fox now, so hats off to him.
There you go, man. There you go.
Did you see footage of that Foos gig in Madison Square Garden?
No.
See the one you're rhyming off the
set list. Did it look amazing?
It looked amazing. I've only seen a tiny wee clip a snippet, and a couple of pictures. It was packed. It just looked amazing. Dave Chappelle was coming on, the comedian Dave Chappelle came on and sung a Creep with Radiohead with Dave Grohl and stuff.
All right.
It just looked mental.
You should check that the Foo Fighters documentary I was talking to you about, What Drives Us, and it's like Dave Grohl pretty much gone about interviewing folk for like AC/DC, Beatles, Metallica and all that kind of thing, and it's all about like touring, like back in the day, like when they first started, like just getting their stuff and getting in a van and just traveling, and it's not even as much about like getting famous. It's like just the kind of journey of like traveling about in a van and having a good time with your friends and just, don't know, man, just getting fucked, I suppose, and having a great time.
That sounds really good, man.
It's a brilliant documentary, man. Really well done. And I didn't even realise it. I just seen it and I was clicked on it, and then Dave Grohl was like interviewing folk, and I'm like, oh shit, there we go, man.
So is it a podcast or is it a...
No, he's like gone about like, and he tracks down like his first like tour van type thing, like when that band Scream that he was in, if you remember, before Nirvana. Nirvana. And then he tracks that down, and he's just kind of like parts it, and he's just driving about in this kind of van, and he's just talking to the camera, and then it goes to like interviews and stuff like that, with all these kind of big rock stars and that, man, like Aerosmith and all that kind of stuff as well, man.
Where is it? Where can I watch it?
Prime. Amazon Prime, man. Wow. It's really good, man. Definitely recommend watching it. And if everybody else listening, check it out. It's good. It's good.
Check it.
If you're into your rock music, Dave Grohl and that, can I go for it?
Who doesn't like Dave Grohl? I've never met him that doesn't like him.
Nicest guy ever, man. Aye. He's the kind of guy you would just like to sit and have a pint with, innit? Like just.
He is the guy. Like, see, who's your hero? Somebody you'd like to sit and have a pint with, and mine was always Dave Grohl.
Aye.
Dave Grohl, because obviously the drummer from Nirvana, frontman of Foo Fighters, and he's been involved in so much other things as well.
Aye.
And you have a feeling that if you did meet him, you wouldn't be disappointed.
Aye.
You think what you see is what you get. He's quite straight to earth. If you're being a bastard, they'd call you a bastard. If no, you go on me.
It'd need to be like between him and like Travis Barker or something like that. Like,
aye.
You know, like just guys that have worked with so many folk in the industry. Aye. Obviously, there's like loads of folk like that, but like for me personally, I think it'd need to be one of those two, man.
I know.
Or Kurt Cobain, God rest his soul.
I didn't get much conversation at him now.
Oh fuck. But I definitely check out that documentary, man.
I will check that out.
You should.
I'll look at it. I'll review it for next week's podcast.
Yes, review. We're going to start reviewing documentaries next. That's our next thing. I went
and seen Cruella yesterday. That was good. I can review that if you want. If we ever run out of stuff today, we'll start reviewing movies.
I think we should just stop talking about Disney movies, maybe. Subscriber count. Dum, 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 dum.
The playlist, the music in it was really good actually. I'll not get into it anyway, but the music was good. That's all I'll say about it.
Speaking of playlist, did you set up the Spotify?
Oh, yes. So what we've done is we've made a Spotify playlist. Basically all the bands that we're talking about and bands that we're reviewing and stuff, we're kind of keeping a note of what we're talking about, and we're going to be putting like a couple of songs for each band up, and we're going to put it up on Spotify, and we'll make it kind of live. Probably the time this podcast comes out, we'll make it live for that. So this will be the breaking news official announcement.
Aye, we'll start putting it in we'll put the link in the video, the description of this video, and because obviously the link on Instagram will be for the videos, so like, you'll find a link on YouTube. And we'll put it up on our Instagram as well, on the story or something, or a wee reminder, and keep it. But we just thought we just want to cover a lot of bases with this, and just it's music that we want to listen to. The thing is, the majority of music we're talking about is new music that's just out from big bands or whatever, or even weird bands like Vukovi. We're still doing pretty well, but you know what I mean. But compared to some of the folk we're talking about, you know,
Metallica and all that kind of stuff.
But it's just gonna get kind of wide range, but all that kind of newer stuff as well. You know?
I think it's just a good sort of what we'll try to do is like put like an older, if a band put one of their older songs and one of the new songs that we're talking about, and just give you that a range, because maybe there'll be some bands that we're talking about you've never heard of, and you went, oh, they sound good, and maybe a wee indication to go and listen to their older stuff. But so that'll be live by that time this podcast out, and we'll get it sorted, and we'll just
exciting stuff. We're expanding.
I know,
expanding the business of podcasting,
expanding to all the free apps.
You can check this out for free.
Did you see this?
Maybe we should get a Patreon for our 23 subscribers on YouTube, man. Maybe just start paying us like £1 a month or something.
Aye. Somebody needs to pay for these albums that we're buying.
That's it, man.
So did you see the Slam Dunk Festival lineup?
No,
it looks insane. It looks
really?
insane. So
when does that come out? Is that
September? September. So it's usually summertime. It's usually summertime, but obviously just get pushed back a bit. Obviously not got as big as download. So, but I've got some of the bands here that are playing. Sum 41, Don Brocco, Frank Turner, Alkaline Trio, While She Sleeps, Funeral for a Friend, Bury Tomorrow, Trash Boat. I used to think it was Thrash Boat, but it turns out it's Trash Boat. 4 Years Strong, Wargasm, and Fugovi. And there's hundreds of other bands as well.
Funeral for a Friday, Back Together.
Kinda. They've split up and then just kept doing the odd wee gig here and there. So I think they just, whenever they feel like it, just come and get a gig.
Last I heard you talk about them, you were absolutely devastated about 5 years ago or something like that. Dave phoning me, Dave, you know, our friend have split up. Why? That was my favourite band ever.
There was like 4 or 5 bands that split up all at the same time. I was gutted, man. One of my favourite bands. But it sounds amazing. It's obviously there's two over 2 days in 2 separate places. So Leeds, and then it's just outside Watford. And this is like their 15th year anniversary. The lineup always looks amazing for a Slam Dunk Festival.
Aye, man.
I'll need to get myself down.
Do they not play a lot of smaller bands as well?
Aye.
I know that kind of. It's quite good.
I mean,
for emerging bands as well.
Aye, because I think they've obviously got multiple stages and stuff. Just same Ideas Download. But a lot of small bands and stuff, and then a lot of bands like Don Brocco, Sum 41 and stuff. So big bands as well. Sum 41, they're still going. That's crazy, isn't it?
Aye, man.
The singer almost died.
Did he?
Aye, like 5-6 years ago maybe. He was built like that.
Aye.
And heavy on the drink, and he nearly killed himself.
Holy shit, man.
He's still going now. I think he's sober now, right enough. But
speaking about folk falling off the wagon, did you hear about Korn? I think it's the bassist, or he's gone on hiatus. Fieldy, the bassist from Korn, he's gone on hiatus for the band apparently. So I was about to say the Bond. The Bond. A Scottish crowd might know what we're saying when we say the Bond. So apparently he's gone on hiatus because he's kind of, by the sounds he's fell off the wagon, because he wrote a wee thing on Instagram. He's just saying about he's fallen back into bad habits and stuff like that, and he needs to take time. And he, unfortunately, see him on stage and stuff like that. It's quite sad, man.
Hopefully he's alright. Hopefully he can pull through, and at least he's not saying he's leaving.
That's it.
At least he's just saying he needs a break.
Aye.
So
that's the thing with rock music, bands, man. In general, it's folk fall into depression and they hit drink and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. Especially people that don't make it as well. You hear a lot of it, man. It's like one of those things. It's like a musician just it's easier to be depressed.
Well, I mean,
obviously loads of folk are depressed.
big bands like Korn, away touring majority of the year, away from your family and constantly travelling. You've not really got a place to call home that much because you're travelling that much and stuff. See these big bands, hats after them.
It's like one extreme to another, because there's dealing with that, and then there's dealing with folk that don't make it and they've put everything into it.
Aye.
I like, see, the thing is, we've never been in the stage where we're like, we've left our jobs and like that's all we're relying on, you know what I mean? And it doesn't work, because you can imagine how that must feel, man. Like fucking like everything just falling apart, man. It just doesn't work for you.
I remember that when I was at school. I was leaving school and I was like, oh, no, I want to be a musician. I want to be in a band. I want to make it. I want to be in a famous band. And my mum was like, my mum was dead supportive. She was like, brilliant, but you need something to fall back on, blah blah. And I used to say, oh, mum, don't bust my bubble. I'm like, no, fuck, I'm going to leave school and be the next fucking Travis Barker. I know it.
See, the thing is, to make it, you need to go all in. It's the same way in life, like, you know what I mean? Like,
there would have been a stage, if we kept going with the band, there would have been a stage we had to decide, right, what we're doing here.
Aye.
Like, if we kept going and we were being successful, and that'd be the hardest decision you'll
you
ever
can't
make in your
expect to do a fucking UK tour, or even like a European tour, say, just for example, like, and you go away 3 or 4 weeks and expect to come back to your job.
I know.
Unless you've got the most soundest boss ever and you can like work that way, or like maybe if you work for certain companies they can cover you, or I don't know, flexible hours and that, but like it's very unheard of. Like, you can keep both, you know what I mean? Really?
No.
I've got a job to come back to and I'm away in tours for 4 weeks.
Aye, I know.
You know what I mean?
Your boss would need to be like a metalhead or something like that, just to understand like heavy into music.
Maybe actually somebody that knows the game.
How important this is. Aye. You would just say, see if I make
like, somebody needs to think about their business as well. You can't just be like, take as much time as you want.
100%. Aye, because then you need to get somebody to replace that person, and then it needs to be a temporary role. Aye, it's crazy. It takes a lot of guts to turn into your boss and say that. Big cojones, big testicles to say that.
Whoa, out of nowhere, man. Jesus Christ.
So what else is happening?
What else? I've spoke about everything.
Have you? Did you see the news about Metallica?
No.
They are releasing the craziest album ever, by the sounds of it, with 53 artists on it.
How many songs is on the album?
12. 12. It'll be
53. Right. Jesus
so
Christ. It's one for every second of the album.
It's basically as an anniversary of 30 year Metallica album, or the Black Album, if you want to call it. Obviously with the big songs like Enter Sandman and Sad But True and stuff like that. So there's people such as
is it no a new album? Is it like they're redoing it?
So they're going to remaster that album, and then I think they're going to do a new. It's called the Blacklist. This is the new album, and there's going to be people on. I've got a list of the names that are on it here. So there's 53 artists or bands, whatever. We've got, so here's a handful of them: Elton John, Miley Cyrus, Weezer, Corey Taylor, Biffy Clyro, Royal Blood, Cage the Elephant. Like, honestly,
I mean, I'm a bit disappointed you started with Miley Cyrus before like Biffy Clyro. And
I went for the most shocking ones.
Oh, right. Elton John. Elton John.
Elton John's brilliant.
He's like, yeah.
It's
playing his piano.
Fair play to them. Like, and this is a 30 year. That album was it. So they're celebrating that, and all the money they make from it goes to charity. All the money they make goes to charity.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Every penny goes to charity, and half of the money they make goes to Metallica's got their own charity.
Struggling podcasts? No? Oh, yeah, no.
Hopefully.
I mean, that would be nice of them.
Struggling podcasts. We've put ourselves in so much debt with all this stuff.
You can't see on the other side of this camera, but there's just a big massive hole at the other side, man. This is just the side of a container. There's actually nothing there.
The side of the bypass.
We actually, he sleeps there and I sleep here, man. So, right.
It would be easier. It would be easier.
Man.
See, you had to set this up every week.
Oh man, it's fucking murder, isn't it? See, the thing is, I try to keep it set up, and then I don't know, man. Like, you know, I end up having folk running, and then there's bevy everywhere, and fuck, I need to clean this thing because there's kebab sauce all over it.
I've had some good times in here.
Aye, man.
It's we used to practice in here quite a bit as well when we made this. Also, my kit behind me. And like since we've been in this podcast, I don't think we've jammed once.
Well, the plan originally was like, right, let's record a podcast every week, and then straight after let's jam for an hour. But then we'll just like, right,
we forgot about the editing side of it.
Aye, editing takes about 2 hours. Like, a podcast is 25 minutes, and then editing takes fucking ages. Aye. But, you know,
We'll
it's still
play again.
enjoyable. And we'll play again. Aye, we'll write a song. We'll write a song after this.
Once we get
We'll
bored of
play it
this,
next week.
we'll play.
Aye. Subscribe to find out when we get bored of this. And,
Did you listen to the rest of A-Trew's album?
yes.
Not convincing.
No, I listened to most of it.
You said that last week.
I listened to most of it, man. It's a good album. It's just I've been off work for the last week and I've got less time. I've had less time over the last week than I actually have when I'm actually working. It's like when you're out of routine, man, and you're just like, so. No, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna get back to it.
Okay. Right. Anyway, I'm finished with that.
We
If you're
finished? Is that us finished?
Are you
Well, what a
finished?
great episode. Is that episode 5 in the bag?
Episode 5.
Lots
in
of
the books.
interesting stuff in there. Loads of information, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good one. We'll be here
It
next
was a good-
week for 4:30 on Thursday for episode 6.
Yeah. Aye, that's it, man. No, this. Aye. You're
The
right.
time this is released.
Aye, fuck, man. See, I get pure confused with the days and that because of this, man. I'm like,
Because we record these in quite advanced as well, it's hard to keep. So when we record this, episode 4 isn't even it yet.
no, episode 4 was it there? No, wait. is
No,
it?
that was episode 3.
Oh, was it? Fuck me. God knows, man.
You need to get back to work. You're
I know.
scramble brains.
Right. Whoa. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.